The Sixers were kind of the talk of in some ways, talk of the weekend with our newly signed Mac McClung being the highlight of All-Star weekend with the dunk contest, winning that, putting on a show for everybody. And obviously those who keep up with this stuff have known Mac McClung had ups for a long time. This mixtape's coming out of high school and stuff. But big thing everyone's saying is Mac McClung saved the slam dunk contest. A lot of people are saying that. The players are saying that. I want to ask you guys, do you think Mac McClung saved the slam dunk contest?
I wouldn't say he saved it. I would say he entertained us. But I it's from what we can see, the dunk contest is on a year by year basis.
Yeah.
I think Levine and Gordon, that battle right there, if that didn't save it, I don't really know what can. So I just think he entertained us when most folk expectations, if you hear people talk, the expectations for the dunk contest has lowered. But I think he came out and he put on a good show, and that's if you can do that, if we consistently do that, I think in a way we can go forward. But it's just from a year to year basis with guys going vocal and going public about not wanting to do it. I just don't know how you can still do it because Mac can come out and it's like the event where I don't know if the same guy can keep doing it every year. It's almost like different people have to do it because if Mac come, I'm sure he got 3 or 4 dunks that he didn't do that he can go in there, but will it be the same enthusiasm next year? It wouldn't be a surprise.
When you're watching guys open torn out papers and like pasting together the number 50, then yeah, we'll be waiting for McClung's next dunk.
So
poor Jericho Sims, that was awful.
Yeah, I mean, the All-Star, it's hard, man. I mean, and if you have the guys that people, I would say not people that want to see, like the most popular guys that people would love to see in a dunk contest, not doing it, I think that hurts the product of the dunk contest. You can change it, you can change rules, you can do it however you want to do it, but I think at the end of the day, back when I was young, it was the best dunkers were doing it,
Yeah.
Jay was doing it, Dominique was doing it, Jordan was doing it. Where they didn't do it every year, you have a Larry Nance that'll win it that wasn't as popular as those guys. Spud Webb wasn't very popular, but he did something. He's a short guy, but he did some good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't always a popular guy, but Dominique was in it that year that Spud won it. So,
you can make your name that way. Yeah. I mean, people are gonna get McClung jerseys now. You know what I mean? Like people know him now from this.
It helps him a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
it necessarily help the league, but it helps him.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I don't think it's going to make star players come out for it, but it'll make other guys who are maybe afraid to lose with not that big of a name be like, you know what?
I think for a guy that's already in the league and playing well and having success, and this is more of a question more so than a comment. Will losing hurt you more than winning help you?
I think losing only hurts if your
guy is in the league and playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the dunk contest is different. Now, 3-point shooting contest, I don't think it hurts anybody because they go by their percentages. That's what they're gonna go by what they do during the season anyway. They're not going to go by what they do in the 3-point contest. They're going to go by how they shoot during the season. But that's a transferable skill that's displayed during the season where the dunk is like a specialty.
Yes. I don't think it would hurt John.
Vince Carter is like the only guy I've seen that's doing dunk contest dunks in games consistently.
Yeah. I just don't think it would hurt Morant if he lost. I mean, no one would remember that in a year from now. If he lost,
come on, man. That's all people talk about is what people don't do.
Well, people are talking about him being scared to do it anyway. So is it that much better? Is being scared to try better than trying?
So they say he's scared to try. You don't think those same people say he lost?
Then I don't think he'll lose anything then, because the same people are still saying negative things.
Yeah,
right?
you giving it too much, benefit of the doubt. If they're being negative before, they're gonna be negative after. Like, they're not going to say, "Hey, well, you tried." No, that's not how this is operating from the top.
These are guys that walk in with like those ugly ass cartoon red boots. They don't give a shit what people say about them. So like, who cares if you lose a dunk contest, man? Like, at this point, like, I've seen some of Russell Westbrook's outfits when he walks into games, dude. Don't care about losing a dunk contest. Like, just do it. Just do it. Try your best.
Yeah, I don't think they particularly care. I was just asking the question: does it hurt more than it help?
But hurt? What do you mean by hurt? Like image?
Not necessarily the image, but does it hurt the fact that you doing it? Like, does it make you want to do it again? Like, do you keep trying? Do you just do it that one time, you lose, and you don't do it anymore? Like, what do? You keep doing it until you win? Like, what's the process of doing it?
Just trying it once.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, Ja Morant get in there and Shaedon Sharp get in there, who I think is a special dunker from what I've seen. He beats Ja Morant, then what? Does Ja do it again next year?
If he wants to.
I'm just saying, but if he doesn't, he's looked at as a dunk contest loser.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost. No, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's what y'all do to people. When they don't win this and they don't do that, you say
I don't remember
losing.
Dominique losing the web. You know what I mean? I don't even remember he was in that one anymore.
Because he shouldn't have, really. I mean, in most people's opinion, he didn't lose to Spud. That's what they were saying. A lot of people that are Dominique fans was like, he had the better dunk. Spud was a shorter guy.
Yeah.
But you got to give Spud credit. He won it.
Yeah. And I don't think it took away from Dominique's dunking prowess, is what I'm saying. I don't think it.
Yeah, because Dominique was scoring 25 plus points a game.
I mean, Morant, I could use that argument with Morant too, though, right?
Yeah, but Dominique also won.
So you're saying it's okay to lose?
He did multiple. Like, if Dominique didn't win, they wouldn't even talk about, how is he one of the best dunkers? He don't even win a dunk contest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dominique lost the year Jordan won. A lot of people were saying Dominique should have won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Like, it's people to say that.
Yeah, I don't go back to your original question. I don't think it saved anything. I think I'm with Eric on that one. I think it's a year-to-year thing because I don't think big name guys want to do it. They're afraid to lose or whatever. I especially like if Mac McClung said I'm in next year. I think that's even less of a reason for big name guys to do it because they don't want to lose McClung. Now they definitely want. If there was nobody they're scared of, I'd say they'd be more likely to do it. Now they lose the McClung. It's like, oh, Morant, you let him beat you. It's like then it's even worse actually for their image.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, like a lot of these guys may not be a better dunker than he is.
No, they might not be, but they don't want to put that on a showcase and have everyone see it for in front of your eyes. You know what I mean? So,
look, man, I do know that it's been a long time, and it was almost 20-some years when we asked LeBron, was he going to do it and why he didn't do it. I don't particularly remember his answer, but I do know that his answer wasn't. It didn't bring confidence that he would ever do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't something that he was just kind of like putting off for right now. It was from day one. It kind of felt like he had no interest in doing it. Mm-hmm. And we'd never really seen that. Like, a guy of his stature and his ability to dunk be like, no, it's not really a priority, or it wasn't important. Like, and
he was the next.
Those aren't his words. Those are my words. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do not remember exactly how he said it, so don't quote me on it. I just know that I left that conversation thinking that he may never do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Especially it was surprising too because he was like the next Jordan. So and Jordan did that. So it was like, oh, you're not going to do it.
When I kind of. When the conversation started, I kind of went in like, this guy could do it and win it several. Like, that's how I was thinking. Like, not only would he win, but he would probably win 1 or 2 or 3. Like, he could kind of break the record for winning the most.
Yeah.
But then that conversation just kind of went the other way. Like, I left it thinking he may never do it. And he did.
No.
Yeah, on First Take yesterday, they talked about LeBron doing it. And Stephen A. Smith said that him never doing the slam dunk contest will be a stain on his career. Of all the things he's accomplished, it's one of the things that's like it'll be a stain on his career. But
a stain on his career.
That's Stephen A. But he was talking to Windhorse, and he asked Windhorse, "Do you know why he never did it?" And Windhorse said, for the first one, his rookie season, he felt snubbed from making the All-Star game. Or starting in the All-Star game. I forgot what it was.
He might not have made it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think he made it. And so he felt snubbed like that. And for that reason, he didn't do the dunk contest that year, his rookie season. So he felt snubbed by that. So he decided not to do the All-Star game. And then he kind of brought up hurting his brand a little bit. If he ever were to lose the All-Star, lose the slam dunk contest, it would have hurt his brand. And that's what Windhorse said.
I've always thought personally.
So what was the question I just asked you?
Yeah. And I've always thought that.
Listen, I asked the question does losing hurt more than winning help?
It depends on who it is. For someone like LeBron, yes. For someone like Sharp, shouldn't. It shouldn't. Because you don't have much of a brand, Sharp. That would have been your brand.
I'm not saying that like all I'm saying is like the younger people, a lot of them guys, like it's not important to them. A lot of them went up, grew up, winning slam dunk contests when they were younger, but they didn't really grow up like watching it every year and it being like the go-to thing like we did.
Yeah.
So they're not coming in. Most of these kids are born,
true.
Now after 2004 or whatever
right.
it is, and they haven't watched the All-Star game and be like, man, I want to be a part of that dunk contest. They're saying, hey, I want to be an all-star.
You're absolutely right. I don't think that gets talked about enough, that these guys who are now in the league who are being asked to do it grew up in a time where guys snubbed the dunk contest, didn't give a shit. They didn't care about it. So they saw their icon LeBron say, nah, who cares?
But yes, it was different. So you come in and Kobe, Vince come in, they like, man, I'm gonna do what Jordan did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do that. I want to win that. Like this quarter did it one time. Nobody talks about that.
Yeah.
Put on the show. Did it one time and then that was it.
It's interesting because it's like you see all the famous footage of the guys hold the camcorders and like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, don't they want like that's something you like dream about, right? Like,
but I don't even think the interest from a star perspective, non-basketball star. Remember how many people like used to be front row? Like, is that still the same? You know what I'm saying?
It looked like mostly all it didn't look as many celebrities, just basketball players.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it used to be like celebrity row. Like most of the celebrities that I met while I was playing was majority of the times that I met people was at All-Star game, All-Star weekend.
Yes, Stephen A. made the point where you look at the last few All-Star games, Cleveland last year, Utah. He goes, these are places that like celebrities don't want to go to. That, and obviously, yeah, I mean, you can obviously do it in LA, New York, but like, promoting different cities every year. But he was saying if you do it in areas like Chicago, New York, and LA every year, Vegas, people and celebrities will come to that. It'll be more of a draw for people and more of an attraction. Guys may want.
I mean, I think celebrities, if a lot of them, if they have something to sell, they'll come, no matter where it's at.
Yeah.
If there's someone selling a movie or someone selling the album, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they have something to sell, they'll come and help promote whatever they're doing. So that right there, I don't think place has something to do with it. Is it easier to go to Vegas or LA for some people than Salt Lake City? I'm sure it is. But I think the following as far as people coming to All-Star in different places is just the average person or the person, if you have it in Vegas, a lot of people from the West Coast is going to come to Vegas.
Mhm.
but they're not coming to the particular All-Star game. They're coming to hang out and party and kick it.
Yeah.
You go to New York, you go to DC, you go to Atlanta, people are going to kick it. They're going to party. That's what it's like. It's like a festival. That's what it's about. For a lot of people.
Mhm.
They're not going to them games and pay thousands of dollars for a ticket that they can watch on television. Most people aren't doing that. We got to be real about it. They are.
Especially the game itself, because yeah, we'll get to that, I guess. Yeah. But I did think of one idea you could do if you wanted to spice up the dunk contest. You can get like some of the best dunkers of all time, put their heads together and think of a bunch of dunks. You put it on a spinning wheel, and then a guy who's about to dunk has to spin a wheel and do that dunk, and they'd be challenging dunks. Just an idea I came up with.
Definitely a way to spice it up.
At least maybe a round of that, like the wheel round or something. Instead of watching them miss 15 times, like you lose me, man. Even when they finally make it in the end, it's like, all right, great.
Well, how many times do you think they're gonna miss if they got to do something they never did before?
Maybe, yeah, but at least the spinning part would be cool. Not watching DeAnthony put on his friggin' Timbs. I don't give a crap about that. Or watching a guy, you know what it is? Missing a bunch of dunks and hitting one. It's like watching one miss a bunch of putts and finally just tap it in at the end. You're like, oh yeah, good. There you go. Nice. Nicely done. It's like you feel bad after a while.
Maybe just before we just dismiss it or cancel it, maybe just put the 3-point contest last.
Yeah.
Yes. I do think that should happen anyway. That's the main.
Do that last, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, and you get bigger stars.
Eventually, they're gonna have to do something different because people. It's almost. It kind of feels to me like they're just getting so many people to turn them down.
Mm.
Yeah,
they're moving this. We had a guy moved up from the G League to do it.
Who won?
I don't even know if Kenya Martin's son was a starter. I'm just saying, like, how many starters was in the event?
Jericho Sims, spot starter. Kenny Martin. He's a rotation player, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen him start before. I just don't know if he's a consistent starter or not for Houston. So who's a starter? Was anybody a starter?
I don't think any before.
I think Martin and Murphy have started a lot of games, and Sims, but usually
Murphy's starting because Zion's in
injuries. Yes,
he's not starting when those guys are playing.
They're key players on their teams, but I don't think.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that they're NBA players, so I know they can play. I'm just saying from a standpoint of starting and being a more recognizable name to the non-average fan.
Yeah, they weren't like day one.
Like Zion has all these, dunks and. I'm sure he'll probably never be in it, especially with him being injured. So missed out on some good names, man. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Just missed out on not only just good names, but good names that we know are great dunkers that we all love to see.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah.
It's crazy because I'm a little younger than you guys, but like the dunk contests I remember growing up, there's not really many because like it's more along the lines of the guys who were who watched that. Like I remember Iguodala's and Nate Robinson's, Jason Richardson, but I was extremely young with that one.
Jay Rich had a good one. He was in Philly. Yeah. He has a really good one.
Mm.
So it's interesting, man. I just don't know how we're gonna do it.
Yeah, well, maybe this ties into our next topic, the All-Star game itself. Maybe they move the whole Pro Bowl route where they kind of make it a whole weekend of East versus West, like festivities and games to get a whole winner with that what they did. But I don't know if you guys even watched the Pro Bowl, but the whole festivities they had multiple flag football games and all the different like throwing competitions, and then it added up for the AFC versus the NFC. So maybe they'll do that.